Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Yes, it's that time again, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we're talking all things Bigfoot right here on Squatch-D TV. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective Steve Kulls, along with the co-host with the most, Mr. Chris Bennett. What's up, my brother?
Steve, it's good to see you, man. I'm sorry to hear about you guys got some snow recently here.
No accumulation, just a little thing to remind us
Just
that
a warning thing, huh?
yes.
Yes, winter is here and we're coming for you. You know, that's always nice. But yeah, things been going well here in Kentucky. We actually got some sunshine today, finally. It's been gray skies all week, overcast. Most of the week it was like misting rain and stuff. Ugh, very depressing weather. I hate it when that happens.
And of course, we're joined by our guest tonight, right down there.
What's up?
Mr. Tate Hieronymus. Hello, Tate.
Tate.
How are you guys?
We are marvelous. Well, welcome to the starting banter, which we like to call it.
I'm enjoying the banter. I'm enjoying a brewski as well, so.
Amen. Well, I'm enjoying a nice energy drink right now.
Well, you know, I told Steve earlier, I tried a Bork burger earlier this evening, and the first time I ever had one in my life, and you know, it ain't bad.
What is that?
It's a combination of beef and pork. It's supposed to be 50-50, you know, but depending on your butcher.
Right.
Yeah. But,
Well, did you know,
not
Chris,
bad. Not bad.
that meatloaf mix is actually ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal?
Well, yeah, depending on how you want to make it, that's true.
And if you make
Yeah.
meatballs, they also grind up some pork and put it in with the meat.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so,
If you
know,
do it right.
It's not a bad thing. It's a little cheaper than buying the burger by itself, you know. But is it worth it? I don't know. If you're gonna have a hamburger, let's just have a hamburger. I think they need to make a mixture of turkey and pork and call it Torque. Torque burger, yes. For all those engine builders out there.
Or maybe chicken and beef and call it chief.
Chief.
Yes.
What? I'm trying to think, but my mind isn't working.
Or you can make bacon. Some bitchin' bacon. All right, let's do our roll call. First in tonight is Grant Rasha, Walter Kroll in there, Reverend Quantum Bigfoot from across the pond, Karen Fisher, what's going on? Roy Longley representing Lowell Workers. And who else we got? Southern Sierra Sasquatch. That is got to be Danny Weeks. Hello, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Who else we got? Gianni, who's unfortunately in the hospital. Brother, we wish you well in recovery
get well
from your
soon.
surgery.
Yeah.
And you missed out on Wednesday night? No, not really. We didn't have a show Wednesday night.
Johnny's
Oh, no,
also,
I'm sorry. We didn't have a show Friday night. I was kind of under them.
Johnny's he's also heavily medicated, it says, so, you know.
Woohoo! We all need to be heavily medicated. Who else we got going on in here tonight? We got Sally in the house.
Sally?
Jen is in the house. Our bouncer. What's going on, Jen? I see Nikki is in the house as well. Gary Johnson Sr. here as well. Sandra Piper. Hello.
Sandra? Gary?
And Walter Kroll is here.
Hey, Walter.
Tristan's comment cracks me up. Tate's not in a hot tub? What? Hey, if you guys want me to go get in a hot tub, I will.
No, see, we don't want that mic to get in the hot tub and then you end up getting electrocuted live on air. That would not be cool.
I have a laptop, so I mean, as long as that I'm not connected to anything, I'll be good.
They would probably demonetize that, probably.
Oh, wait, they're gonna demonetize sexy? That's not right.
The Susie monster in the house. Lori Gibbs, hello. Smedley, do right. How you been? Nikki, of course, is back. Who else? Mick is in the house as always.
And Nikki had a great show.
And there's Tristan,
tonight.
Kaiju Ninja 85. What's going on? Robert Den Duven, how are you, sir? Gianni's still hanging in there, I see. Ron Meldrum, hello, Ron. Good to see you. Wolfman Willie, hello. Welcome.
Wolfman Willie, that's a new one on me. Welcome, guy.
And Sharon is here also as well.
Hey, Sharon.
So here we are tonight, and I can say this now. Last week it was kind of, but next October, I believe it's going to be the 16th and 17th, maybe the 17th and 18th. I got to really look yet. Mm-hmm. I am going to Maine to speak at the Maine Bigfoot Conference, or Maine Bigfoot Festival.
Very cool. Get some,
so that'll be really cool. And of course, we got a new one, Rokurge. That's Roker Gepta. I'm sorry. I didn't see what the numbers in there. Kind of.
Okay. Mick's killing me over here now. But, I was listening earlier. I was listening to Nikki's show. Of course, I always do. I'm a lurker. All right. You won't hardly see me in the chat of any of these shows, but they were talking about the Bigfoot researchers and dispute over different areas, and it was a fascinating topic. Very good. And had John on there, Sasquatch Wizard and Rondex. John was on there. Did a good job, John.
I'm sure he's lurking right now, or getting prepared.
Probably is. He may be taking a break because Nikki
look, there he is. And speaking the devil, and in he walks.
Sasquatch Wizard and Rondex.
My favorite thing is to just troll other people. I like trolling the comments of people that I know doing live shows. Mm-hmm. I try to see how professional they are, if I can get them to break or not.
Oh yeah, that's not difficult here, man, because we always have a good time. And,
that's not really trolling. That's a good way of trolling, though. That's let's throw in the Beatron is also here as well. I see Beatron snuck in.
Beatron. Okay, did we miss Grasshopper? Make sure we didn't miss.
Grasshopper, if you're here and lurking, I didn't see in the chat, but if you're here, hello.
Hello, if you're here. If not, well, you'll just have to catch it on the replay.
Excuse us, is Grasshopper here? Grasshopper, please make yourself known.
Well, he seems to get upset if we miss him during the roll call. And, of course, we don't want to miss anybody. But I don't know how Steve does it, because about 1/3 of the way down, I'm already lost, But he manages to get through it pretty good.
That's because I'm a chat room champion.
You're perfect.
Been chat rooming since the 90s, baby. I got to say this. There was a time my brother and I, when my brother was alive, we did go into the Cleveland Indians chat room and troll everybody in there when the Yankees beat them in the playoffs. We went in there. We trolled them hard. This was back in this had to be in the early 2010s.
I remember those MSN chat rooms from the 90s. It's like, the first thing you learn is ASL.
And I mean, I started with the AOL chat rooms.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I never did do those.
So anyway, there is a little bit of interesting news out there tonight. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but back in 2014, there were two young ladies, like age 12 or 13 or 14. Let me. Let's see. In 2017, two females. At the time of the crime, they were like 12 years old.
Girl Scout
They pled
ladies.
guilty to attempted first-degree intentional homicide in the violent stabbing of the Peyton Leutner, but claimed she was not responsible due to her mental illness. She told investigators she tried to kill Leutner to please the horror character Slender Man, and was ultimately found not guilty of. Remember that case?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
the whole Slender Man case, right?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my.
Right. Well,
12-year-olds.
here is the news. Manhunt launched for convicted Slender Man stabber who cut off monitoring bracelet and fled facility.
Oh no! Is it one of those same girls?
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah.
Wait, is a girl? There was 2 of them that killed one girl, right?
Well, she didn't die. She ended up living.
Okay,
It was attempted murder.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. That was the amazing thing. The girl actually lived.
Yeah,
she got stabbed like a dozen
right.
times.
Right. She got stabbed multiple times, but she made it. Right. 12-year-old girls doing this.
But one of the girls, who was now in a group home, went out with another, I don't know who or what, but she ended up cutting her ankle monitor off and took off after visiting an ATM.
Arrest?
Well, technically, she was in psychiatric care. So, because she was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
So she got to go to the funny farm.
So, and then eventually she made her way to a group home, got the trust, and okay, you're progressing well. It's been 11 years now since the actual act, which was in 2014.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, I remember that.
And now she cut her monitoring bracelet off, and right now they're looking for her.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. 12-year-old girls scare the crap out of me. More so than like grown men with like guns.
Right.
And I'm a man enough to admit it.
There's definitely some issues at home there.
I'm going to tell you, I have apprehended a lot of thieves in my day. And apprehending juveniles stealing stuff is more dangerous than apprehending apprehending adults. And the reason why is because the brain hasn't developed far enough to understand what consequences are. They don't think too much about consequences. I have pulled the most interesting weapons off of juveniles, including a 14-inch machete out of the pants of one because he was walking fine. Pat him down, like, what's this? I'm like, don't move your hands. I pull out a friggin' machete. Yeah.
It's like that scene in The Mask where the cops are pulling like all these things out of his like pockets, and like one of them was like a bazooka.
Yeah, a grenade. Or, look, a time bomb.
Yeah.
Well, there is an age where young people reach where they feel immortal, right? They do stupid things because there's no concern about, well, if I do this, will I break my legs? No, that doesn't enter their mind.
Right.
But it seems like nowadays young people have got the attitude of they can do something without any consequences, legal consequences as well. And that doesn't figure up. No.
I remember catching this like 12-year-old girl, and she was with her grandparents, and she stole a $98 watch. So I went up, listen, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, but your granddaughter took a watch. And all of a sudden, the crocodile's coming, I don't know what he's talking about. I ain't got nothing. I go, ma'am, just look in the right pocket. The grandmother goes in the right pocket, pulls out the watch. And she was like, just like that.
Oh, yeah. Play the victim card.
Needless to say, no need to call law enforcement there. The grandparents were going to handle that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Much. You got the grandfather just sit there, and also you just see his ears get beat red looking at her like, ooh.
The problem with kids, you can't hit back. If they beat you up, you can't punch them back.
Oh, no, but you certainly can tie them up.
I mean, can you trip them on something? Like, because you're not technically like hitting them.
If they attack you, you are in a self-defense mode. It does not matter. If they come in, seriously, if they come swinging at you, by law, you're entitled to swing back at them to protect yourself.
I'm just trying to figure out how that conversation is going to go with detectives.
Oh, it goes fine. It
Well,
goes
you
fine.
know,
Because you got to understand the position I'm in, right? Right. I've never had the opportunity to have, I have had a juvenile pull a knife on me. And that was actually rather recent, within the last 7 or 8 years.
Dang.
And I just told all my staff, get behind me, get back. And as he started walking out into the parking lot, well, here comes the police unit taking him down at gunpoint. At gunpoint. Yeah, well, because if he came out with a knife, goodbye. And that's what he did about no consequences. They were in there. They were, I think, 15 or 16, and they were stealing. They got told they were starting to steal. I told them, guys, listen, get out. Just get out. And he didn't realize I was giving a break by not letting him fulfill his crime. Right? Because they put about $3,000 worth of merchandise in the shopping cart. And they're all huddled up and looking around like, guys, out. And the one kid just decided, you know, I'm gonna be an asshole, start knocking stuff over. At which point I turned to want to call the police. And then he pulled out the knife. I said, I just flipped up there. Hey, yeah. Because I had, you know, of course, I work with this police department every day, pretty much. So I call him back. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, he's got a knife now. So when they kept tearing into the parking lot, kids don't think.
Hey, Steve, maybe sometime in private we'll have a conversation where you can teach me how to get out of a ticket of any kind.
Do anything wrong? That's the easiest way to get out of a ticket. Don't get one.
I know. I'm not saying I have a ticket currently. I just for future reference.
Well, if you get a ticket, the way I look at it this.
Oh, Reverend. Oh, no.
Yeah, just don't get caught.
No.
Run, Forrest, run.
That's not good advice for young people. That's not. Oh man.
I mean, they got a point.
Well, you know, things happen. You know, everybody drives maybe a little faster than the speed limit. You know, but you know, you got in moderation. You don't run 98 and it's 55. You know, and expect to get by with it. No, that's not going to happen. If
I kind of go by the Russian roulette system. You know, just kind of take my chances.
Yeah.
Oh, the speed limit says 65. I'm going to go 80.
Well, yeah.
But I am down in South. In my defense, I am in South Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when gasoline got over $2 per gallon, I started slowing down. So now I'm 45 miles an hour. You know, trying to save
in the 15-mile-an-hour zone.
Yes.
I might add.
Yes. People
Cops are like,
me.
we can't get them with cop cars, but we're going to get them with gas prices.
Yeah. People behind me honking. Come on around. You want to waste your money? Go ahead.
Boy, I tell you, we've gone into overtime in our banter today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. We need to get on the subject of Bigfoot, right?
Yes. Next week, an episode on how Steve gets people out of traffic tickets. No.
Oh. I don't know if that would work very well.
Just tell him you're legally blind.
Sir, how'd you find your wallet so fast in your glove compartment? I memorized it.
Oh, blame it on Bigfoot. I don't know. I mean, that would be one of those psychological, things, claims you make.
Yeah, I'm not looking. I don't want to look to try to go to a psych ward.
No. I think, Tate probably wants to be able to not have to pay the ticket and yet not be locked up in a place with other odd acting people.
Well, I think that the majority of people just don't want the points on their license.
Yeah.
And I don't know if California or Florida is on a point system like New York is.
I really don't know. I don't ever
So.
get tickets 'cause I never get caught.
Guys, you asked, Tristan asked Steve, did you see that Bigfoot took her show on Discovery? I don't know what.
I've watched part of that. Yeah, it's it's a deal out in California.
What's that, Chris? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, well, you know, they're trying to tie this girl's disappearance to Bigfoot, and it's not really too much stuff about Bigfoot. I think they're investigating. I've not watched every episode yet, but I did start watching it, and it's more likely tied to a drug dealer. Her disappearance. He was doing some human trafficking as well as, you know, illegal narcotics and things.
Yeah. So there's a number of things, or maybe he's just a creep.
But supposedly she went up there to the mountains in this one area, and I think maybe it was Northern California, to look for Bigfoot with this other guy. And it's supposed to be a hot area, a lot of sightings there.
And she didn't come back.
And she didn't come back. And
did the guy come back?
The guy came back and said Bigfoot caught her.
What part of Northern California?
You know, honey, I can't remember.
Ooh, this sounds like a job for the Squatch Detective.
And it's on one of the streaming apps now, and I can't remember. I think
Discovery.
It might have been Discovery. Well,
now I'm gonna have to subscribe back to Discovery Plus.
Was it on a TV show?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a show. It's got episodes. But I watched it on either my HBO app or
was that the Hulu
Netflix
one? Was that the Hulu one?
I'm thinking it's the Hulu one.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch that now.
It's called Bigfoot. It's like this guy that investigates like missing people reports in Humboldt County. Mm-hmm. But it's really just a bunch of the cartel just kidnapping and killing these people.
Gianni says it's a Discovery series.
Okay, yeah.
Bigfoot took her. It's Bigfoot took her. Okay, now I'm gonna have. Thank you, Gianni. Have another pill for us.
That's the title. Bigfoot took her.
Okay, yeah. Steve and I were thinking of the Hulu one.
Yeah, the Sasquatch thing. The Hulu one. Yeah, that was by all the pot farms and
killed by a Sasquatch or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, got Bigfoot everywhere here.
Yeah, I started out watching that, and then he switched over into a bunch of other things. I'm like, okay, well, now there's this guy named Bigfoot. They called him Bigfoot. Oh.
Yeah, I think it.
I'm out, But I did start watching that the Bigfoot took her thing, and at first, the first episode, I think I've made it through maybe the half of the second episode now. But
that bad, huh?
It's kind of interesting. It takes a lot to draw my interest about certain things. When it starts getting a little hokey, then I'm like, Yeah.
I did agree with a comment about this Hulu Bigfoot show. It's totally fake.
Yeah.
The guy was trying to cash in on Bigfoot.
Cashing in on the name to get his little crime story going.
Right.
Cashing on the name of Bigfoot has been happening a lot recently.
I certainly has, hasn't it? I mean, there's a whole YouTube channel that gets emails that reads out these little Sasquatch stories, supposedly. Yet the guy never goes out in the woods to look for Sasquatch.
I think the bad guy's name in that he's called Blind Johnny or something like that. No joke. He's a blind guy, a blind drug dealer. This guy lost his sight. Evidently, he got into the criminal enterprises or something. I don't know.
He got into the criminal enterprise because he was blind? Or
I have no idea. No idea.
He was making all the wrong life choices blind?
I don't know. Evidently.
Wouldn't logic tell you otherwise?
I think the guy, they called him, I think it was Blind Johnny. I think that's his name, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
What?
Yes. He's the bad guy.
Excuse me, Your Honor. My actions are justified. I'm blind.
Yes. But, how could he, probably a poor drug dealer, how how would he keep from getting busted? You know, somebody walks up, hey, sell me something. Okay, here you go.
Are you a cop? Nope.
You're
Okay,
under
here you
arrest. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Reverend, I gave you a C note, really. Oh, man. But
Hey, look, I scored all this crack for $1. I told him it was 100.
Yeah. You can't make this stuff up, okay? This is all documented. You know, really, the guy existed. And that girl, I can't remember her name. She was on some shows with Josh Gates, some of his stuff he did. I can't remember her name, but she's one of the investigators on it. And she's pretty good. She's pretty good.
Almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, Texas Jack. Glaucoma. Got it really bad. Yes. Yeah. Jessica Chobot. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but that's her.
Shaboo.
It's French, right?
I have no idea.
Should have stuck with Gates. Oh man. But oh well. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, let's get into tonight's topic. So Tate, a lot of people don't know what Sabe is. Do you want to elaborate a little bit?
So wait, Chris.
I have no idea. No, I'm one of them. I don't know what Sabe is. You know, well.
No, that's Chris's. I have no clue. Wave.
Okay. Yeah. I thought he was like raising his hand. Like.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Have no idea what Sabe is. All right.
Sabe sounds like hey, I might brand that later.
Chemo Sabe.
Jesus Christ. Yes, that's a good one.
You know, we got on this laugh kick now. Now every time our peanut gallery here is going to comment something funny, we're going to be off the rails.
They're the greatest, man.
The chemo zombies. I like that. Okay.
Well, I can go to, if Tate, if you're, you run that series searching for Sabe. If you're really looking for him, I can find you on Find a Grave where Jay Silverheels is buried. He's the one who played Tonto.
Well, Chemo Sabe is going to be the Japanese version of my show.
Wouldn't that be Kaiju Sabe?
Oh, yeah.
One would think Chemo Sabe goes to cancer treatment once a week.
Wait, no, it's Tristan from Kaiju Ninja doing the Japanese version of my show. So you get I don't know. I think we just lost that. I did anyway. But that Japanese, man.
Yep. So, but anyway, from what I understand, that Sabe is a term used in Bigfoot research that comes from certain Native American First Nation traditions, most commonly referenced among the Ojibwe and the Anishinaabe, and occasionally the Algonquin language groups. Refers to a large human being, shaped forest being, often described as hair-covered, tall, and people-like, not automatically monstered, more often a being with purpose, teacher, or cautionary figure, depending on the tribe. So, again, it's not a universal native term, and it's not universally applied broadly across all native cultures. And as you said earlier, that Sabe represents honesty or a moral character in the 7 grandfather teachings.
Yep.
A spiritual symbol figure, not a zoological animal. And in our research, it's understood as a native derived name for Sasquatch-like being, primarily associated again with the Ojibwe and Anishinaabe.
It's I don't know how you're doing that.
Anishinaabe, yes.
Anishinaabe. I like the name Sabe because doing YouTube videos, you want to be honest. There's a lot of dishonest television and other people out there. And so I was like, I wanted a series that represented the honesty side of doing this and presenting people with what I'm filming. But nobody knew what Sabe meant. So originally it was the search for Sabe, and people were like, dude, no one knows what that means. So I put Sasquatch, a search for Sabe, and that's how the title became what it is right now. So, but where I got the inspiration or got the idea to use it was from Les Stroud from his Survivorman Bigfoot show.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Bluff Creek, and he talked about the 7 teachings and Sabe in immense honesty. So it's like, I like that. I want to use that sometime.
Now, is Sabe associated with any East Coast tribes? Algonquins, maybe?
Not that I know. Well, from what Les said, is he was saying he was in Manitoba, Canada, when he heard about that. So from what I know, I think they're more or less in like the Midwest, kind of Minnesota and that kind of area, up into Canada.
And the reason why I bring that up is, there was a Michigan researcher on one of the small town monster shows, and the guy seems pretty believable, like he believes in what he's saying. And he just came out with, well, I'm trying to find these people, these Sabe, these whatever, and he mentioned the word Sabe, and I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily a correct terminology, but it sure does has a nice license to it, that this is, it's what they describe them as a, and
well, well, I think Sabe is just the name for the Bigfoot, I think, and for that tribe, just like over in, the western part of the United States in California. Was it the Hoopa? They call it Oma,
right? Yeah,
and it's like that's their name for Bigfoot. And so all these different tribes. Well, J.W. Burns, what was the tribe that he got the name Sasquatch from? He couldn't say the name. It was like some completely weird. I'm trying to remember how Sasquatch, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was their name for Bigfoot, but J.W. Burns couldn't really pronounce it or whatever it was, and he's like Sasquatch. So it's the bastardized version of that Native American name is Sasquatch.
So here's the interesting thing. Sabe, of course, you mentioned means trust, right? It's loyalty, honesty. The exact origin of the word Kemosabe, best known from the Lone Ranger.
Oh yeah,
right, which Tonto would call the Lone Ranger Kemosabe, means the exact origin is debated, but the strongest linguistic link is again to the Ojibwe Anishinaabe tribe, Gimozabe, which means he who keeps watch or who he peeks in stealth. So very interesting.
Huh.
He who peeks in stealth.
I like
who keeps watch.
I like that.
Very interesting.
Ooh, that's cool.
So I wonder if Sabe is just a cutoff for Gimozabe, and Zabi is spelled Zaabi, not Sabe.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I looked it up. It starts out spelling with a G and 2 I's for the Indian word.
Right, Gimo
Native
Zabi,
American,
yeah.
excuse me. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
That's okay. I like that. That's my new favorite term.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
It said it's always generally understood to mean trusty scout or faithful friend, but it actually means what he or she looks out in secret
And stealth,
something and stealth. Yeah.
Jeez,
So
that sounds more familiar to our creature than.
It's kind of it's a lot. Yeah.
I like it. Kind of goes hand in hand, basically. Those two things. He who was it? What was the term I just said? He who what?
The term is Gimozabi, Gimoo, Gimu Zabi, Zaabi, all one word, is often translated as he who keeps watch or he who peeks in stealth. And again, that's a linguistic link to the Ojibwe and Anishinaabe tribe again, which is very interesting.
Oh my gosh. I just learned that in Spanish, tonto, remember tonto with the Lone Ranger, that means stupid or fool. That's terrible. Didn't know that.
That whole thing is tonto, actually.
That's horrible. That's horrible. That's a new one on me, and I can't say I enjoyed learning that just now. Tonto was my. I like Tonto better than the Lone Ranger. I watched the Lone Ranger for Tonto.
So he's an idiot the whole time.
That's what it says.
Well, in Spanish, he's an idiot.
In Spanish, his name translates to stupid or fool.
All right, Chris, do something more positive. Will you look it up and what it means in any native language? Will you?
That shocked me. I'm like, oh no, not Tonto. You know. Dang him.
Oh my God.
He'll always be my hero anyway.
El loco tanto. Anyway. Wow, this show has been getting it's tough to get through tonight. I don't know why.
Well, I'm learning a lot. Some of it's enjoyable, and some of it's, kind of
disturbing.
Shocking. Yeah, disturbing. Good word. Yeah.
Holy Maclandy.
Hey, there was a comment I need to put up. That was from a little earlier here. Where did it go?
He dresses as like you just start the whole show over.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Where did it go? Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, yeah. We have this thing here. We can click on it and star the comments so we can easily go back through and look them up later. And, I didn't use that. I didn't use that.
Poor Chris is just so disturbed right now. He found that.
Yes, it's terrible.
Dude, he's so depressed.
That Tonto was my hero.
Joe, get me a Snapple.
Right,
this one from Smedley Do Right. It said, according to Google, Latin for Bigfoot is Pesmangus. Magnus. Pesmagnus. Okay.
Huh. What is it in layman's terms?
Bigfoot.
I just wanted to sound smart there by saying that word.
I can get into trouble by looking up
So
stuff
all
on
those years, Chris, just remember
Google,
the Lone Ranger was calling Tonto stupid. Just remember that.
That's horrible.
Just ruin your childhood.
I mean, yeah. Tonto could have just left him lay there and bleed out, but he didn't.
Okay, in the
life.
First Nations languages, Tonto means wild ones or rough people.
Okay, well that figures. Yeah.
Well, I go to Schenectady every day of the week, and there's a hell of a lot of Tontos there. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, Tonto got beat up a lot more than the Lone Ranger did. He was always
I've seen some rough people.
Oh man.
We should rename tonight's show episode Tonto. No, I don't want to get the show demonetized.
Oh boy, it is turning into a fun show, Sally, man.
I don't know how the hell we stayed on track with your Patterson Gimlin tribute between you, me, and RPG. I don't know how we kept it so serious, but we did.
That group of people should have not been together. I don't think it's a miracle it happened.
I know tonight's the type of show where we need to really get the chicken wire fence in front of us all in case something comes flying at us. Thank you, Mick.
Wow, Mick gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Mick. That's too kind of you. Thank you.
What did you think of Ron and I's last minute prank that we did? So, because there was that issue.
Explain it, yeah.
There's that issue we had. I think RPG had his mic off, but Ron and I were trying to figure out his presentation. And so like, hey, what if we just like kind of went along with like a bunch of like things going wrong with the show, and I can't bring up your video for your presentation, then you like get mad at me and then like leave. And so we did that, and I don't know if it really hit or if it bombed, but it was,
I kind of figured out this was shtick, but the funniest thing was when RPG's mic wasn't working, and he's sitting there going, you know what you could do is you could edit that little piece out and just write in some other language to that, and just fill in the words. And as he's going, yeah, really. Today's episode is brought to you by.
Is somebody fluent in Klingon, like from Star Trek? We could put that, dub that over.
Create your own dialogue, but oh no, that's terrible.
Who the hell knows? Maybe we can even have, that little section RPG can determine, what the meaning of Tonto.
Oh, Mick. Well, we know, man. You got a heart the size of the world. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
You got a heart the size of you, Mick.
What a great guy.
I got a heart the size of my heart, so that's it's no bigger, it's no smaller.
So, let's get into this. First of all, have you ever had a Bigfoot experience, or have you had any close encounters?
I've had a few. I would say the most prominent one would be the time I filmed one on a thermal, which I'm about 95% sure that I did. I don't know. Maybe you can. Are you able to pull it up? I can tell you what video to look for. If you want.
Yeah, if you want to PM me over on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna shout out my buddy Jonathan Easley, Western Bigfoot Exploration. He made a 22 documentary video about my thermal sighting, and he brought up something to me I didn't really know. So the thing that I filmed was about 300 feet away, or 100 yards, which is the range on the FLIR Scout TK Scout. And so I could barely see this thing. And originally it was in white hot, but I changed the color for him because it looked better in black hot. But if you watch the whole video, I actually flipped through the filters because I could not see. This is my first time using a thermal.
Right.
So first time, and this thing's like out of the range almost of this FLIR unit. So I didn't know what I got on camera until I got home the next day and looked on the computer. But I know it wasn't a bear. I know it wasn't a human. It wasn't a mountain lion. It wasn't an owl. Because I did a whoop call and this thing responded back to me. That's what even got me to go back to this one kind of like ridge area.
So did it whoop back at you, or did it?
Yeah. So originally I did knocks on this like dead tree, but the sound did not carry that well. So I did a whoop down the hill one way, and then I turned and did a whoop over the ridge, because we're on a pretty steep ridge, and so I was like, well, the sound should travel pretty far. And after I did the two calls, me and my friend are kind of just talking quietly, and then I hear a whoop whoop right back to me. It's like, oh, dude, did you hear that? And my friend didn't hear because it was actually kind of cold that night, so he had like earmuffs on, and I was like purposely trying to like hear. And so I was like, hey, I saw this little ridge we can go back and look from and see if we can see anything and scan around. And we walk up to this ridge and we look kind of ahead of us, and we saw what looked like two yellow lights, but there's other lights in the background. So we're doing like this number, and we thought it was 50 feet away. That's when I start recording on the thermal. And then I have one eye looking and the other eye is closed, but we have our headlamps on. That's why we're seeing eye shine. So he's seeing the thing the whole time. I can't see anything. Then I put the FLIR down to see it's still there, and I bring it back up. My friend does a couple calls. Then after the second one, he's like, dude, it's gone. And then that's when we walk back to the car. And I actually turned the recorder off when we got back, or close to when we got back. So I didn't know what we got until I got there or home the next day and looked, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, we got something on camera."
Yeah,
So
truck that over to me. I'll get it up for us.
it was. I'm about, like I said, 95% sure. I've taken my good buddy Glenn. What's his new name? I always forget it. It was like Brown Dwarf, but it's Bigfoot Dwarf, something like that.
Oh, let me look.
If anybody knows, comment it. I'm trying to remember what the name was.
Nope, I don't come up with anything.
All right, I just sent it to you.
Kaiju Ninja said
right.
Bigfoot Dwarf.
Yeah, that's it. Bigfoot Dwarf. Sorry, Glenn.
Subscribe to that one. There we go. Go check out his channel later.
Well, the only thing is, I don't want to get a copyright on this. I'm gonna have to. Just give me a second. Just give me a second here. Chris, you want to take over the show for a minute? I'll have this up for everybody in a,
go ahead.
In a flash.
I'll check out the chat over here. Lots of good comments.
Glenn is Bigfoot Dwarf.
Yeah, got him, Kaiju. Thank you. Bigfoot Dwarf is the channel name. And if it's from his channel, we're going to give him full credit. Okay, while we discuss it. Let's see.
Is Tate related to Bob Hieronymus, the guy who wore the suit? No, I'm not. No relation. It's no
yes,
relation.
Smedley. I'm doing a takeover. Mix of Tate. I think it was a cat call. I think he was talking about when you were guys were calling back and forth with Bigfoot over there. That would be interesting. That's the thing. Reverend Quantum Bigfoot said it's the same with a lot of things, especially if you're only looking at a small screen. When, because I think Grace responded to Grasshopper, and Grasshopper commented earlier, said FLIR doesn't have a range, light doesn't have a range, just size and resolution. That's true, but there is a certain range on those TK's scouts that once it gets out of that, you're looking at your little
that threshold.
Yeah, once it gets out of range, you're like, okay, there's a white dot over there, or okay, there's a black dot. Well, what is that dot? Well, we don't know. So yeah.
Exactly.
It gets beyond what you can see.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of those thermal scope options that they have advertised, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on them. Oh my goodness, you can see, fine detail, even the texture of they show like hogs and coyotes and stuff like that, and you can see, oh my gosh, just like looks like a high definition video, but it's in thermal, completely dark, and amazing.
If I had a nicer therm, there would be no doubt to what I filmed.
Yeah,
but and I feel like it happens with people who use their thermal for the first time.
Yeah,
that's when like something good happens, but you don't have it dialed in or know what setting to use and everything.
Yeah. Kaiju Ninja wanted to ask you, so Tate, what made you go to the area where you got the thermal? Good question.
Well, so where I got the thermal is not too far from where I lived, which was in Ventura, California. Mm-hmm. I knew like the Sierras were about like maybe 4 hours north, give or take 4 or 5 hours. But I didn't really want to be driving that time, like every other day or every other weekend.
Right.
So what I did is I actually tweeted Cliff Berkman, and this is before I actually knew Cliff. personally. I tweeted, hey, where is a good area to go near Ventura? I don't want to drive too far. And he's like, oh, go to this area, and it's basically in between Santa Clarita and Fraser Park, California.
Yeah.
So I went out there, and I brought a buddy of mine, and we camped out there, and we were kind of walking up and down the road, and I saw what looked like a potential track. So I just took a picture of it. I didn't have a tape measure. I took a picture of it by itself, then I put my foot next to it, took a picture, and I sat on that picture for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tweeted that picture to Matt Moneymaker, and I was getting his opinion on it. He's like, hey, where did you take that? I may want to meet you out there. And so I'm trying to remember. That was October of 2018 when he met us out there. But funny thing enough, earlier that year in July, there was a guy that filmed one off the Grapevine not too far from where I got my thermal sight in October.
Right.
So I don't know if it was the same individual or what. But it was like at the end of the day, we kind of went up to where my spot was. And then I was like, hey, Matt, where should we go to do some research? He's like, oh, just take this road all the way back, and it dead ends, and it's like a little parking lot. There's a trailhead. Just go there. So that's what we did. And that's why we ended up there, basically. And didn't expect anything to happen. And sure enough, that's when something happened.
Right. Well, and that reminds me, Tate, you made me think when you're talking about doing some outings in California. I think that one show that Bigfoot took her, thing, I think that happened somewhere around Fresno, California. And that kind of came as a surprise to me. Or they were mentioning Fresno because I had been there years ago, and Fresno seemed like to me it was pretty much out in the middle of the desert, not really too many mountains and stuff around. But maybe they were talking about, up north or northeast of Fresno or something. I don't know.
Could have been on the mountain, the Pine Mountains or whatever.
Had to have been, because where they showed the area was very, very mountainous terrain. A lot different from anything I saw when I was there. Of course, I spent maybe a week there at the truck stop, on Pilot truck stop, and so wasn't very much sightseeing going on.
Where I got my thermal video is very deserty around, because the nearest place, actually, when you go up to get up to the spot, you drive through. I'm trying to remember the it's called Hungry Valley OHV Park. It's like a place for dune buggies and dirt bikes and stuff like that. Oh, cool. So you drive through that, then you go into like the forested area of that part.
Right.
And it's all still desert, kind of that desert vibe with some pine trees here. But you go up into the mountains, and it goes like from desert to pine tree forest.
Yeah.
But it's the desert over there.
Kaiju Ninja said it was Ghost Mountain. Okay, so that's somewhere near Fresno, and I have no idea. But it's Southern Sierra National Forest. Okay, very cool, very cool. Yeah, because when I was camped out in Fresno for a week there, I didn't see anything other than desert and brush. But that's the thing, and that's the way it is. The thing I learned about while I was living in New Mexico. That's the way it is out west. You can be like, okay, this is a desert basin. There's nothing here, and you could drive 15 minutes and be up in the mountains, and it's like green, and there's grass, pine trees, running water, everything.
Exactly.
Completely different change in the ecosphere.
Like Southern California is very, very, very dry. And so, like, I don't know if the one that guy filmed near me in July was real. It could have been. I actually went up to that spot on a BFR expedition that I helped Matt set up. Mm-hmm. And I went up there to where the thing was standing or walking this ridge. And it's like, it's steep.
Right.
And that kind of dirt is very loose, like kind of dirt, sandy terrain.
Yeah.
So this was in the middle of July, and you're talking about in the desert, and it can get up to 100 degrees, and this dude's like in a suit. Yeah. If it is a guy in a suit, I don't know.
So, yeah, usually humans wouldn't be doing that, especially in the middle of the summer.
That didn't take me too long.
Welcome back, Steve.
So, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I want to thank the Western Bigfoot Exploration Channel, first of all, which is where we kind of got Tate's easy reference to getting that. This is the actual long-form video of that, but we're going to be looking at the thermal here. I'm going to put it up here on the...
So it's set to minute marker
All right,
2020.
There we are.
Yeah.
Well, we already got it trimmed out. Because not only did I download it, but I trimmed it and fit it to 1080.
Oh, nice.
So here we go. So this is the...
So it was initially white hot in the beginning, and you could
Right.
see it looks like it's like basketball sizes. That's how I describe it, like on a ridge. That was this thing crouched down because when we saw it, we saw the eye shine was that way. And so that's why I couldn't see it, obviously, because that's really far away. And if you're using the therm for the first time, you don't know what to really look for. You'll miss that easy.
All right, let's go. Just let me know when you want me to stop it.
All right. So yeah, I'm changing through the filters here, trying to see if I can see it better. Still can't. So now it's in black hot.
Let me make my screen larger here. Oh, I see it. Yeah.
So I misspoke. Originally it was in black hot, then it was in white hot, but I flipped the colors around so it ended in black hot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I put it down to look with the light because I didn't know if it was still there.
Oops.
That would have been at the extreme range of because it's very small from our perspective.
Yeah, it was small, like it, and somehow it stood straight up like that.
Right.
And then that's when he's like, "Oh, it's gone."
There it is. Boom.
Yeah. Right.
And Jonathan pointed something out to me I kind of missed. It could have been just like an artifact that the thermal made, but it seems like something protruded away from his body, like an arm. You can kind of see like a gap.
Well, you see there, it's not something that just appears; it rises.
It raises up. Yes, it was down on the ground and come up. Yep. Absolutely.
And then right there's like a little thing that comes out almost for a split second. Rises up right there.
I can catch that. Yeah, it's some movement, but we're probably it's broken up in the FLIR. Yeah, some kind of movement. Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
like an arm or something moved. Yeah, absolutely.
So I wonder if it stood up and then turned around and maybe you see an arm swing and then it walked down the hill because that hill behind it is actually fairly steep. And we did go over there that night and then the next day and there were scuff marks. But we couldn't, nothing that we could make out as like a definitive track or anything like that.
Right.
The thing was, it's funny because I didn't expect anything to happen, and my friend who was with me, he's a skeptic, so he didn't. If you ask him to this day, he's like, "I don't know what I saw, but I can't describe it either."
Yeah.
It freaked us out so badly because when we first got there, and I'm like, I'm kind of getting freaked out, dude. You know, I'm timid in the dark. I'm not afraid to say it.
Tristan, and looking at that video, it may have been crawling, but it definitely stands up. I think it was crawling, to tell you the truth.
I think I think it was crawling in the beginning because I went over there where it was standing, and there at the time there's like a pine tree that's maybe like 4 feet tall, and it was in between this little pine tree and that big tree you see in the footage.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, at least know where it probably was. And I mean, I don't have the photos. We did do recreation.
So this happened in October of 2016, correct?
Yeah, 2016. I don't know why I said 2018. I got my dates missed.
Oh, it happens. You inverting a 6 and an 8. I do it sometimes with a 9 and a 7 sometimes. So.
Yeah, it was October of 2016.
Yeah. Grasshopper says summer is the worst time to use a thermal, as the skin tip can be the same as the environment tip.
Well, that was in
Plus,
October.
washing out everything. Yeah.
Yeah, this is October. But the thing is, there's no way it was a person, because if you look at it on Google Maps, there's one road in, and on each side of the road is really steep. Plus, October up there was hunting season, and so I don't know who would have the balls to prank somebody with guns, who might have guns.
Right.
I think that's kind of dumb.
Well, the one thing that really, I'm going to put this back up here in a smaller way. I'm going to go over to this. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of. Now, the thing about the FLIR Scout, that appears to be one solid color.
Because you can see, like, the trees at that distance have different coloration from where it's hotter and cold.
So that is one solid, and at that distance, rather large, upright. Now, the only couple of things, my only warnings to all this. Now, obviously, did you guys? You're in complete darkness. Did you guys actually go to that spot, or did you stay where you were?
So what happened was we didn't expect anything to happen. So my nerves, and I'm sure his nerves were like, I was extremely excited and extremely scared at the same time. So I was not expecting that. So at the very end, like the camera's still rolling when we're walking back to the car, we try to compose ourselves. Then we actually go back over there to the spot to look that night. We didn't see anything because it was too dark. There was a little bit of moonlight out, but it wasn't like very bright. So it was fairly dark. But after we checked that area out, we actually packed up and drove back down the mountain and camped near people. And then drove back up there in the morning to check it out. That's how much it freaked us out, actually. And I didn't see it.
And grass, maybe at that distance, that's what it is. But that is an incredibly dark. If you were to invert that to light, that would be definitely a thermal hit.
Yeah.
And as we've shown, even on a BFRO TK Scout, remember we had that TK Scout thermal of what they thought was a Bigfoot, but you could clearly see it had a bag on it because there was a differentiating color. And I know at this distance, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yep.
But here is the the kicker. Usually if you guys are talking, somebody will make themselves known so they don't get shot, especially during hunting season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
so for it to be an upright, it's unlikely to me that this is a human. I'm not seeing necessarily a human reaction would be or how quick it gets up. However, if you were looking at the front end or the hind end of an elk or a deer, that could represent that. Possibly. Not saying 100%. Right?
And,
so if we're looking at that straight on back to back like this, it may give the appearance of being upright, but it could also be a quadruped.
So, I've always thought about, those things. Well, I rule out person. I mean, yeah, a person can make a call sound, but people's eyes don't shine. And that's one of the reasons we caught that. We still noticed eye shine, too, along with the whoop sound. The other thing, too, there could have been a coincidence. A bird happened to respond to my whoop, and then there happened to be an animal there. I think those two coincidences happening at the same time are slim to none.
A little bit unusual, yeah.
And so that for me rules out a deer because deers don't make whoop
Correct.
noises. Bears don't make whoop noises, but owls do. But at that distance, at 300 feet with a FLIR Scott TK, an owl would not show up and it would not be as tall. That it would be a lot smaller.
Right.
The other thing is
grass. I didn't say you said it was human.
The other thing is too, this thing made us before we made it because we had lights on and everything. So I don't know if this thing froze when we actually spotted it with our lights. And then after my friend did those calls, it was like, okay, I'm going to get out of here.
So without really being there and on scene and seeing what you saw directly after that, because one of the things I would look for immediately after would be any signs of scat tracks. And you were up there afterwards, correct?
At the we were up there after maybe 20 minutes of the actual encounter.
Okay.
Didn't see anything.
Now, when you did your recreation, and this is Reverend Quan, how tall was it in your recreation?
So my friend looked skinny, and I don't know exactly where the thing was standing. So I had my friend standing maybe a little further or closer to me, and he looked taller. But this thing could have been further, just a few feet down the hill, and it would have been the same height. Right. But I know I have him in the right area, and we did a recreation during the day with him holding two LED red lights, and you can kind of see the two red lights, and like that's kind of represented what it looked like. And I did an overlay of the thermal.
Can see that recreation up on that video I posted in there, and you can do that after the show.
Yeah.
Please wait till later.
Not during the show.
There's a bunch of comments here, Steve. I need to get them up before they get up too high.
But before that, I want to make one comment on this whole thing before we get to our comments. Is it kind of resonates a little bit with the Mike Green thermal? Remember how Mike Green's thermal came in really low?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So you may be seeing a similarity in behavior.
Uh-huh.
Just food for thought. And I don't think, Tate, you realized that until just now.
No, I didn't think about it belly crawling in the beginning, but when you said belly crawling, I did think of that Mike Green because he left that candy bar there and left, and it crawled up. And
then eventually it stood up and walked away.
So, I'm wondering if it was just nearby and heard the knocks and then thinking it was another Bigfoot, because I don't think it saw us or heard us coming in, because we were in the parking lot for maybe a couple hours before we actually went out and did anything. And by this point,
I'm sure it knew you were there minute one. And I think it was just doing its thing, spying on you. That's what they do.
It was so weird. I think it belly crawled up to the area because it probably didn't know exactly where we were. Maybe it lost track of us and then found us when we...
Well, you know what? If you think about it, it has no clue it's watching you right now.
That's so crazy.
Right? If you think about that, that's why it stood up. It's not because it got confused or anything like that. That's almost to see things through anthropocentrism, how we think. We know there's a thermal there. That has no idea what a thermal even is.
Right.
Right? So it comes in and then it realizes, okay, they're starting to get a little jiggy or whatever, stands up and it's going to walk away. That's just my thought process on what's going on. Now, nothing scientific or concrete, but that's how I would look at that and kind of evaluate.
I think because when my friend is like, hey, should I do a couple of calls? I'm like, yeah, go for it. So he did like one normal call, then he did one more with grit, more aggression to it.
Right.
Then he's like, oh, dude, it's gone. And, there's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I wish I would have stayed at that spot and camped at the ridge where we parked. I wish I didn't listen to him and just kept filming regardless. All these pre-planned ideas like what I would do went out the window in the heat of the moment. So there's a lot of regrets, but, I'm 95% sure it's Bigfoot. I don't know. I feel grateful for getting something like this. Probably will never ever happen again.
That leads up to a few questions I have for you, Tate. Did you feel the need to leave the area?
Yeah.
after you saw this?
I felt freaked
Okay.
out. I was like, I don't want to be camping here. And have
Any
something
kind of,
come
do
into
you
our tent.
remember feeling any kind of weird sensations or anything?
I've always felt kind of odd or nervous in the dark, especially
Hmm.
in the beginning because this is 2016. I haven't spent too much time out, so I don't know. I always felt like something was watching me, so I didn't really. Maybe it was just my nerves,
Hmm.
but other than that, not really. I didn't have any weird like sensation or weird energy.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You know, people report getting this really creeped out feeling, you know, when they've had a sighting sometimes. And, you know, I don't know, other people report feeling things like love or, or gentleness, you know, things like that.
Right.
But I think the most common thing is fear, you know, and every now and then somebody reports some sort of ear fluttery, like something in their ear bugs them. And I'm
I
just
don't.
wondering if
Yeah,
you felt.
I don't really think I had any like time to feel like I have a weird feeling energy.
Yeah, yeah,
I just felt like, oh man, there might be something here, or
right,
I'm getting freaked out
right,
that there could be something here. My friend's like, oh, you're just over worrying and overthinking,
right,
you
right,
know. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So we just ended up eating chips and salsa and having a couple beers, just hanging out, you know.
right.
And I was like, hey, let's just go, just walk this little trail and do some stuff, see if we get anything. Like I said, expect nothing to happen. And so when we got the call, I'm like, no way, that's cool. Did I
Well,
expect to go up there and get a thermal? I've never said the
Truthfully,
F word so many times in my life and was actually happy at the same time. It was the weirdest thing.
and truthfully, I wish you never switched it to black hot because I think when it stood up being white hot,
Oh, I can send you the original video, and the original video is in white hot. It ends in white hot.
oh, absolutely.
yeah, that would be good. I'd
That
like
would
to
I
be
see
good.
can.
that.
I
Yeah,
will send you the original file.
the it is at the extreme range of your thermal, but that's
Yeah,
undeniable. Something stands up.
Let
the
me let
way
me answer let me answer this question real fast. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
There.
that's the other thing I wanted to
red.
mention with that. So the reason I don't think it's other animals for the fact that I got a whoop response back, which is the only reason I went to this ridge to film anything. The other thing is too, this thing like it probably crawled down, and that's not normal deer behavior or even mountain lion behavior from that distance or bear behavior to be crouched down for almost 2 minutes and then stand up. That's weird.
Well,
That
The other thing is, too, what my friend Jonathan in his video talked about is bears' eyesight's only good for 30 yards.
I'm not certain.
But
The
beyond that, they rely heavily on their smell, their sense of smell, not their eyesight.
right. Well, we would have saw a very large target,
The
and then if it stood up, you know,
yeah, I mean it's really difficult to tell the size of this.
right,
But what makes it interesting to me is when we see it at the very beginning. It's just above just behind the arrow there,
Yeah.
right? Everybody, I don't know why they put that full screen thing on there when I'm looking for this. And looking at that, I mean, it's really hard to tell if that's a head, or if that's just a portion of the body.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the head because, again, at that distance, everything's kind of blurry and everything. And I think with the original file, it would be a lot cleaner. But we saw eye shine at this point in time, like because I was recording. The eye shine was still there the whole time, so I know that's like the head just peeking over, looking at us.
that seems very squeaky-ish.
So I think like it's
From
what
Mike
you
Green.
said, Steve. It probably army crawled up to there and was like peeking over, and then when my friend did those calls, that's when it stood up and then probably turned and walked back down the ridge. And what's great too is in Jonathan's documentary, he stands kind of in that spot where the thing walked back down the hill.
And you guys did a call, and then you got a response, right? Like a whoop or something back.
Yeah, so there's this is the left side of the ridge. I was on the opposite side of the ridge, kind of downhill a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I did the calls from. I did one down in the valley we were on the side of the hill of, and then I whooped over the ridge where this thing was standing or where this thing was.
All right.
When we got the response, I think it was maybe a minute or two later. It wasn't very long.
Right.
But I was like, that's where I was like, hey, I want to go back to this ridge, because when we were walking there, I kind of saw this little high point off the trail, and we went below that. And I wanted to go there because I could see both sides of the ridge from up there. So I know there was enough light in the sky to see that, but it was still dark enough where we used headlamps so we didn't step on any like rattlesnakes or twist an ankle walking.
Yes, Jen, I can do some stuff with this film. I'm going to wait for the original, and I'll work with the original. That way it'll be much more effective rather than me going offline here and trying to do that. Now, Chris, there's some questions that I've starred that we want to get to about this video in particular.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we already covered Kaiju Ninjas here. Do you think it was belly crawling and stands up, or is it cresting a hill?
I think it's both. A little mixture of both, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And Reverend Quantum Bigfoot wanted to know, did you get a height reference from anything around?
Yeah, so that big tree where it's standing next to, there's like a little pine tree, maybe like 4 or 5 feet away from it to the left.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I figured it was standing. So I had a ballpark idea of where this thing was definitely at. Whether it was further up the hill or further down the hill, I don't know. My best guess from putting my friend there, he's like 5'4". He's not very tall. This could have been maybe anywhere from 5 to 6 feet, maybe 6'1". I don't know.
Right.
To be honest.
By looking at the terrain there, now you correct me if I'm wrong, Tate. It looks like that where that tree and the subject is at, on beyond that, it drops off. It'll be like going downhill behind the subject.
It's a steep ravine right behind it.
Okay.
So it goes really far downhill to the left. Basically, we're on this little platform ridge area, and then in front of us is just steep hill. Okay. And then to go around it, you'd have to jump over a couple of trees that are down, and run over to it in the dark. 300 feet, 100 yards. So.
And Smedley Do Right said, "How big was that? It's hard to tell." Yeah.
It's I'm going to have to just guess anywhere from 5.5 to 6 feet. That's just my best guess.
So, hey, the tackle tactician is in too.
Hey, Tack.
We have one guy, Smoky River, says that's an extra large screen. You can see that's a bear. And I will put it to the test. Don't worry. I have a large screen here in studio that I will. I'm going to get the original film. We're going to blow it up even better, and we're going to sharpen it, and we're going to play with the colors a little bit, draw it more out, and we will have an answer for you. And we'll invite you back, Tate, when we get that all worked up too.
Let's be clear here. We're not releasing this and saying, "Hey, this is proof of Bigfoot." No, no. Tate captured this thermal in conjunction with other evidence, such as a returned call, that makes this interesting. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I would tend to agree. And I know a lot of people are automatically. Pareidolia does play reference here, whether it's Bigfoot or even a bear. Why? Because it's in black hot. That's why I don't like black hot, because people automatically, that's the color of what we're looking at. Yeah.
It's a bear.
So I'm not going to rule out that it's not a bear. I'm not going to rule it in that it is a bear yet until I work it up and see for myself.
But it's definitely, what we're saying is definitely worth taking a look at. And Mick says, "I'll be honest, I saw something pop up, but nothing I could say is 100% a Sasquatch." Well, that's true, Mick. I'm with you. I'm with
it's
you.
not like damning footage of anything
No.
by any means. I mean, if
And,
it like I don't know, yeah, if it wasn't for the whoop and I recorded this, I couldn't tell you what it would be.
Yeah, and I tend to agree. When I look at, that's why I've looked at this so much. Yes, it does remind me a little bit of the squeaky video, where you see a head. But in looking now, let me go to a couple of things though. In looking at this, are we really looking at a head peak popping up? We may just be capturing some of the thermal hit just above the line here.
could it be a butt?
Could it be a butt? Could very well be a butt. And in actuality, one of the last frames, right there, it does look a little bit wider.
It was twerking for us.
Right. See, there, it's much wider there. So I'm not so sure we're looking at a head. And then, of course, what really does is the stand-up, which...
It's like a vertical stand. It's like a vertical shot up.
Absolutely. Yep.
But let's think about it. Could it also be a bear rearing up on its hind legs, looking back at you guys, hearing you guys? So now it's bringing itself up to see what's going on.
Right.
And right? Reverend Quantum Bigfoot says, is there any bear in the area?
So
yeah,
when I think of that aspect, it looks like, and I have thermed a bear I started with the bear actually on the opposite way. I started with the bear standing there watching us, and then it drops down, and then you see some fumbling, and then you see it ungulate away because it ran, because we were actually really close. We were within 35 feet of the bear. And he's like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm just resting behind this shrub. But, I mean, could it be? Could it be a bear rising up, which would give it the effect of being bipedal, standing up?
Do I even have... It's, yeah, I mean, if you can figure out what it is, like if it's a bear or what, that'd be great. And then I guess all that would be left is to figure out what made the call. If it was...
See, if you even see here...
my head.
You even see here, as it starts to get taller, it starts to actually come down a little bit here.
Yeah, but taking in consideration with the other evidence, the call that was returned, that's unbear-like.
Oh yeah, that, you see the...
I tell you, I can't see it. It's really blobby. It's at the extreme range of the.
Yeah, but in this frame, I think head's right, or the head's right. You look over to the top of it right, you see like this little nub, which would be like a snoot. Now it's even, and now it kind of picks its heads up, looking the other way. Whoop.
Ooh.
That's when my friend was like, "It's gone."
And I can't see that much. I can't.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like you had to be there, but the video won't ever prove it.
The other thing too is if you look at and so the way you train a lot of times, like in an airport fire department, and I've kind of done this with animals too, is we use a silhouette book to identify aircraft.
Oh, wow.
Right? So, yeah, here's a book of all aircraft silhouettes. Right? So when I was a firefighter, this is one of our tools to recognize, because you never know what plane is coming in for a landing, and sometimes you have to, like, okay, that's going to be, boom. Right? So, one of the things that I'm looking at this is I'm seeing a lack of shoulders. I'm seeing a wider base than I am at the top. And because of that, we know a Sasquatch is triangular. We know it's got very broad shoulders, comes down a little bit. Unless they're fat, then it kind of comes down straight. But they're widest at the shoulders.
Yes.
This one seems to be wider at the midsection and butt. And that to me is the silhouette of a bear, to me automatically.
Right.
If I saw that bear, and that's just my honest opinion of it. I mean, could be wrong.
But, when you're looking, it depends on the angle of the subject, and the thermal capture is so, it's blobby, okay?
Right.
And it's so far away, we can't tell if we're looking at the creature head on,
Right.
or we're looking at a side view,
Right.
where it won't have wide shoulders.
Right, yeah, true. Could be side view.
Right.
I honestly, because I don't even, all I know is like, I heard my friend say it's gone, and then that's where the camera goes down.
Yeah.
I don't know if he saw it stood up. I don't know if it stood up and turned around, because I don't know. I know it was facing me at one point, but not being able to see. I didn't even see it stand up when it was this big on the thermal. I did not see that. So I don't know when it turned around, if it did, what happened. So I couldn't even tell you what position I'm looking at it thing at.
That creature on the Freeman film, he had a very large belly, not so much large shoulders, but a big belly.
Right.
He had a
Sasquatch
kid.
Wizard Adirondack says, what about that tree that seems to be further away than the target? The grass is hiding the tree's base, and the subject looks a bit closer.
Oh, you're talking about that little white stem
I
right
agree,
there?
yeah.
I would
Yeah,
think
No, it looks closer than the wide tree on the right.
it does.
No, it was. I don't know if that little white stem is the tree, but the tree was about right there. It was about 4 or 5 feet away from that bigger tree.
Yeah. And Sasquatch Wizard Adirondack wanted to know, said, Tate, how thick was that tree out there near the subject?
Maybe 3 feet in diameter.
Right. It was an evergreen, right? So it's kind of like a Christmas tree looking.
Yeah, like a really tall, like evergreen tree.
Okay.
Could have been like 3.5, give or take, feet wide.
And Kaiju Ninja says you did a recreation, right?
Yeah, we did a recreation here and there with the thermal. I did it in black hot though, because my eyes get like just ruined with the white hot at night.
Yeah. And Mick comes up with a good one, and it's good. That shows he's thinking. Mick is a good investigator right here. So how can anyone tell what the size of the dark image is if we don't know the distance from the object and the tree and the width of the tree?
I'll say this. So I know I have. So I did take a bunch of daylight photos of the thing where it was standing at. I took pictures from our position looking at that during the daytime. I took pictures from that position looking to where we were at during the daytime. I took pictures of the tree it was standing next to. I took pictures of the big tree. I found impressions that looked foot-shaped, and I took pictures of those. I took a video of one. So I know generally where it was in between the little pine tree and then this big tree, which is about 4 or 5 feet from each other. And as far as where it was standing on the hill, it probably, if I had to guess, it maybe a 5 feet diameter, like in a circle with that in that distance or that area. That's why I said either it's around 5.5 feet to 6 feet tall, because I don't know exactly where. And on that steep of a slope, it would be drastic change if it was standing up a few feet higher.
Right. And let's see. Mick said, I don't equate this with the squeaky. There are some similar behaviors there, Mick. I mean, no, it's not not near the same.
Not completely.
quality.
If it was a Sasquatch and we see this head popping up, yes, it reminds me of the squeaky video
Yes.
a little bit. It's not the complete like where you actually, Mike's had a very better thermal setup, a little higher resolution thermal setup.
Way better.
That actually caught it coming up and around and over like that. So, I'm not saying it's exactly like it, but it's showing if it was a Sasquatch, it would be similar
using
type
stealth.
behavior. But I don't think there's enough data to show that either way. Other than if it was a Sasquatch, it would be kind of looking at what's going on. But it could also be a bear as well, looking at what's going on, and then all of a sudden it stands up. Now, again, I'm going to get the original video. We're going to try to work it up, see if we can't get any answers out of that. And we may not. But we can't say, we're not saying this is a Sasquatch. We're not saying that this is anything at the moment. We can't really tell. My tendency is leaning towards bear a bit, but who knows?
I'm saying it's interesting.
Right.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
It needs to
It's
be worked.
interesting.
It needs to be worked. Right.
It's not something you need to throw out. No.
Right.
I want people to look at it and go against what my gut feeling. And I guess people are always defensive of their own.
Sure.
evidence.
And you're not 100%, which is just lends to your credibility out there.
My
That's why I
tendency
get
is-
along with you and why I like you is because you're willing to say,
Let's look at this. Yeah,
My
right.
tendency is to defend it, but at the same time, I know defending it's not going to get anywhere if you're like always, oh no, you're wrong, I'm right, kind of thing.
Right. We have to run it. We have to run it through the gambit.
I'm with
Yeah.
you, Tate.
Well,
I like it.
I've been trying to get Robert Leiderman and like Bart Catino and those guys who did like the recreation for Bart's thermal too, because Bart's thermal video is another one where it's not great, but there's a lot more circumstantial evidence of Sasquatch behavior that's observed in his, like the rock throwing, and then what they had to do to recreate the rock throwing and different things like that.
And Kaiju Ninja said, so Tate, you pointed a camera at that spot because you saw eye shine?
Yeah, me and my friend both saw eye shine, and we were looking at it. We were probably seeing this thing maybe for 30 seconds before I started filming with the thermal.
You remember the color? Eye
Bright
shine.
yellow. We thought it
Right.
like it looked it looked like the size of this clock, even
Okay.
at 300 feet distance.
Okay.
That's pretty large.
That's why we thought it was so. We were like, dude, that's 50 feet away.
Right.
But turns out it was not 50 feet.
What,
And there was-
what did you determine how far away it was?
How did we determine that?
No. What did you determine how far?
We were like, dude, that's got to be 50 feet because there was lights way off in the background because back in the distance, it's like a desert. You can see it during the day. And there's like
Right.
those waterboard channels and there's like a bunch of lights. And we were like, oh, that's got to be 50 feet away because we'd never seen this place during the day. We got there at night. So I don't know what the place looked like during the day. So it was hard to judge the distance at night.
But what did you end up finding the distance was?
About 300 feet. We did a really janky. We didn't have like one of those laser pointer things where it tells you the distance. I didn't have a drone either that I could fly. We had a tape measure, and then he stood, and I walked a straight line as I could until the tape measure maxed out, and we kept doing that. And it could be more than 300 feet, but it was definitely over.
So you're talking a football field away, 100
At
yards.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Could have been
Kaiju
120.
Ninja said, Kaiju Ninja said, would footprints show up in the spot where it was standing?
Yes, but there wouldn't be much detail because the terrain's kind of like that dirt, sand, very loose terrain up in the deserty alpine mountain. And plus, since it was October, there was a lot of pine needles covering the floor.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that from the shots afterwards that you guys were doing towards the end of the video.
Yeah, so
When you went back during the day, and there's a lot of scrub brush on the other mountainside.
yeah, it was hard to. It's really hard to get any detail. It was just a strange print-looking thing, so I took pictures of it, and that's. So I can't really 100% say it was Bigfoot. I lean towards it was from being there and looking, seeing the things that I saw, and then what I heard.
Right.
But you know, a lot of it could have been circumstantial, just coincidences that happened all at the same time.
Right.
Well, it's possible that the thermal image may not be related to what you heard, but we don't know. I sure as world wouldn't throw this out because hey man, that's a lot of stuff working together that says that this could be like something likable.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know how bears would react to people hollering, especially if during hunting season when there's people with guns out. I don't know if bears are more keen on that than the deer are. But yeah, definitely not a deer. I don't know. It's just some weird stuff. There's Spanish owls out there, but those are too small.
Yeah,
Well-
they as Spanish owls, they don't say who, they say tanto.
It's weird. Like I walk these.
Dang it.
After this incident happened, I've been back here many times, and like I've walked the trail at night, and like you'll have a light on. I don't want to step on rattlesnakes, so you'll see like these little eyes, and you get closer, and it's like a little owl like this big, and they'll just fly off.
Right.
Kind of cute. I try to catch one, but it's pretty hard.
And Kaiju Ninja says, how many times have you been back to the area after the thermal?
be
Have you
right back.
encountered any other activity? Okay. So,
Man, how many times? Well, 2016, I'd go out there every other day if I could after work. It was only a couple hours drive,
right.
so I honestly lost track. I'm pretty sure I did record a knock somehow. I was with Bobo and another guy, Robert Staten. We were up there on a BFO expedition. It was just the three of us. We kind of broke off from everybody.
Right.
And we went up to the same mountain ridge, but on completely opposite side of the mountain.
Yeah.
We were at a place called Dutchman's Campground, and I had my phone recording audio, and I set it down. And it was kind of windy, and there was like these like little pine cone, acorns falling from like the trees and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that would make a distinct sound if it hit the roof of my car or wherever I had my audio recorded. It would make like a metallic sound.
Boing. Yep.
So what happened was me, Robert, and Bobo did 2 tandem whoops. And then we're kind of talking, and then you can hear a clear, like wood on wood baseball bat knock, and it resonated too.
Right.
So I do have audio of that. I'll have to send you guys like an audio file of different things I've recorded. I do have that somewhere. I don't even know. I don't think I have it on my phone here, so I'd have to go back later and dig it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than the thermal video, the knock that I heard a couple of years later, that was about it up in that area.
Right.
And I still go back there every year, but it's been quiet.
Well, that's the thing. You can go into one area maybe one year and have several sightings. It happened to me. I had a hot area, and then all of a sudden, the next year, whoosh, it dried up. Where are they at? I don't know. They're not here. They're somewhere else. But things happen. But you never know. You keep going back to that same area and hope that you can get back on it. Or they come back from wherever it is they're gone.
It's a bummer since I don't live there anymore. I can't ever get back there. And what was cool is when I did live there, I had all of like kind of that terrain from basically kind of westish of the 5 highway.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like Fraser Park, Gorman, Ojai. I had all that to myself to kind of research. I didn't know of anybody there that was actively researching besides me, so I kind of had it all to myself, which was nice.
Southern Sierra says, show the running part.
There's no running part.
No, I don't think. Maybe you're thinking of a different one, a different video. This one just kind of raises up and then,
Not in this one.
I think we already covered this. Tate, what color was the eye shine? He said it was kind of a yellow or
Like a bright whitish yellow.
whitish yellow. Okay.
So not the traditional Sasquatch kind of orangish reddish.
No.
Kind of like an amber, maybe.
I mean,
Lighter?
it could have been, but our headlights were pretty. Our headlights were pretty bright, so I don't know if that maybe.
Part of the,
I think a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
depends
at
on the
that
type
but
of
at
light.
that type of distance, it wouldn't really have that much of an effect on it, though, Chris. You know, you're talking hundreds of yards or 100 yards plus.
That's a long ways, right?
Yeah.
Would cold affect the way the eye shine is reflected back?
Humidity may.
No.
Not necessarily temperature, but humidity, angular refraction, any type of atmospheric condition, fog, dew, higher dew points, angle of refraction, type of lights being used.
Yes.
But at that distance, not so much.
Like
Because it's such a distance, none of those environmental factors kind of burn away. If you were close, yeah, it may have something to do where the eye shine might be directly annoyed by the type of lighting we use. Like a lot of times, we always used to see this reddish eye shine. Now we're seeing a little bit of orange eye shine because people have switched to LED type of lightings or krypton bulbs originally, and then LED type of lightings, which are much more whiter in intensity than your traditional older bulbs, which were leaning more towards the yellow intensity.
difference
Yeah,
on the
that's-
lumen scale. Yep.
I think ours was like really. It was like those LED like bright ones, and so it could have been like a bright orange or really really bright orange, but I don't know. I know it was very bright, and it really was like it stood out from the other lights in the background.
Yep.
So I knew that.
Reverend Quantum Bigfoot says, "Did you get a recording of the howl response, Tate?"
No, like I didn't have any audio recording. I just had a phone, and so I wasn't really there going to do Bigfoot stuff. I wanted to go out there to meet Moneymaker to see what he thought of the track and in the area that I found it. And then
Right.
we kind of just went up there, and I was like, I'm just going to bring my therm because I just got it and I want to just play around with it. And so we kind of just went up there, just having fun. And then sure enough, we just got the audio, but I did not record the howl response. My friend
Right.
didn't hear it. I was the only one that heard it. But I barely heard it because I had like my hoodie on, but I had the hoodie behind my ears so I could still hear. My
Right.
head and face were warm.
Right. And Kaiju Ninja says, when you did the recreation, is the subject in the original thermal larger than the person in the recreation?
Well, it could be flawed, like I was saying earlier, because I didn't know exactly where on the hill, like where on the ridge it was staying, if it was closer or not. So I could have had my friend closer, and he could have been taller for that reason. Or he could have been further back and been shorter.
These guys are.
So I can't say it was a perfect recreation, and I can't judge.
I just don't think that the chat is grilling you, Tate. These guys are really good. They've got the investigative mind. Okay, so they've got a lot of questions they want to answer.
No, I
Answer,
appreciate it.
And,
Southern Sierra says measurements.
And certainly, you know what, the beautiful thing is the transparency and honesty here is like, hey, we weren't perfect in what we did and stuff like that.
No,
You never hear that on some of the sycophant channels. Well, we did our investigation and this is what we found. Right?
no.
You're great. Like, it's not perfect, but we tried. And that's
It was very very, very citizen science research. It was like citizen scientist research without the knowledge
scientist.
of how to it was, yeah. Like I think you put a measuring tape next to the foot. Yeah, let's do that. that sounds scientific enough.
Yeah. And
I
you
mean-
thought the subject was probably around 5, maybe 6 feet tall, something like that.
Give or take, yeah.
Guessing. Okay, I know you didn't have a measurement. Stand right there. Let me bring my measuring tape. Okay.
And honestly, if I had to guess too, it might have been a younger one, maybe. I don't
not-
think it was an adult because I think this thing got itself seen, and I feel like adults are a little bit more
Absolutely.
careful.
They're not born 8 feet tall. Yeah.
And maybe it thought and Moneymaker brought up a good point. Because it was deer season, there might have been a Bigfoot around, including other predators. Because I guess when hunters dress the deer, they leave a lot of those guts behind, so it's like free food. So maybe there's some Bigfoots traveling through the area for hunting season. Thought we were hunters. Maybe.
Well, that's the
gonna
thing.
Score an easy meal.
But how many hunters actually field dress their deer? I mean, there are some, but not all. A lot of people will take them home and dress them. So
yeah, but usually though, if you shoot one in the field and it's a pretty good ways off, you'll slit them and gut it first and leave all that in the woods. So you don't have to drag as much. Yeah.
It's at least a 2-hour drive from the top of the mountain to just the highway. Because that road coming in is really rough going up the hill.
It's a dirty business.
Kaiju's got a great question too.
Mike says, "Are we saying the Mike Green vid is legit?" I'm not.
I tend to think it is.
I like it, but it is not.
Nothing's 100%.
No.
Nothing's 100%. Let's put this everywhere, every way. Even my stuff, not 100%.
But I like it.
Right. I mean, on the scale, it's tipping more towards a Bigfoot to me than not. So
yeah.
The Mike Green footage.
Exactly.
This one right now, we're kind of like leveling the scales. They're kind of like right now. We'll get the original video. We'll work it up. We'll do a good job on it. We'll see what we can extract from it.
Yeah, I could even like provide you all the pictures I took from that day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So you kind of get like a scale of what everything looked like.
Sure. I may be able to work with that amongst all the other projects I'm working on.
Sasquatch Wizard and the Rod Deck says, "Hey, boo boo, these Bigfooters are looking for our picnic basket."
Picnic basket.
I'm telling you right now, for people who are saying, "Oh, I would do this and do that if I had an encounter," saying is totally different than experiencing something real time. Like I said, there's so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas I would have done differently back then. And
damn it! I should have done this. I should have done that. I just don't know what happened. God, the guy freaked out on me. He pooped his pants, and we all had to leave.
Dude, it was the. Have you ever been like super excited, like more giddy than anything ever? So take that feeling and combine it with being like, I will literally crap my pants. I'm so freaked out right now. It was like it's like having a Red Bull vodka. It's like an extreme downer with an extreme upper.
And you can't fault the guys, because it's kind of funny. You'll always have these people say, "Look, if that happened to me and I saw it, well, I would take off running straight at it." And I'm like,
yeah, good luck.
Yeah, well, you don't know what you'll do unless you're there. And besides that, I mean, even a silverback gorilla. Okay, let's say you saw an escaped silverback gorilla in the woods. Would you run? Would you run straight towards it? No, I don't think so.
Hell no. A silverback? No way.
No.
I'm not even gonna run towards a deer at night. I mean, deer can mess you up.
Well, so we just put our graphic up for a Wednesday show.
Okay.
As you can see, we're getting in the Thanksgiving mood.
I don't typically run towards things that could rip me in half if they took the notion to.
No. So
that's not the smartest thing to do.
When a certain guy with his initials are RA says he'll run up and grab a handful of chest hair.
Yeah.
Bull crap. Bull.
You go, man. You go. Give him a big kiss, too.
I'll give him some chest hair.
Oh.
I'll rip it off his own butt.
And, let's see. Now, Mick says, without giving away the specific area, where was this filmed, approximately?
I mean, I can show you guys where exactly it's at. It's not like it's a... I can even show you. How do I share? I can share my screen, right?
Little button on the bottom will say share or present, or it'll say present.
Yeah, just, I go through a learning process every time I do this too. Yeah.
I gotta find my Google Maps.
That's us. I'm looking at what you're. Anyway.
Somebody help me find my maps. Oh, here it is.
It was on Tonto Ridge.
Oh.
Okay, you can. Are you sharing the screen here?
Yep, I'm going to right now. There we go.
Yeah, put it up there.
Whoa, what the?
Oop, hang on, what's going on? Oop. There we go.
I'm not touching anything.
There we go.
All right, you guys can see this.
Oh,
yeah,
he's using a Mac.
All right.
I have to use Firefox because StreamYard won't work in Safari on my Mac. But this is the parking lot where we were at.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So there was a fire a long time ago, so half this side of the mountain's like burned, and half this side has a lot of trees.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard to tell exactly where it was from this angle here. But yeah, we hiked down this trail here. I believe it was this tree here. No. God, I can't remember. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it was over here in this direction. I did a call this way and a call that way, and it's a pretty steep ridge on both sides. And the thing was like, maybe it was right here. I think that's the tree. And we had like this line of sight. I think this is where we were standing here.
Right, because you do see like some fall timber in there as well.
Yeah, so I believe this is where we were standing. And that's a straight shot, line of sight to right here.
Right.
And then I think it walked back down this way. But you can see how close it was to the car. Like, it's right here. But zooming out, so this is where it happened. But zooming out, like there's Pyramid Lake, there's Gorman, there's the 5, Fraser Park. I zoom out, there's Santa Clarita. And then you got Los Angeles over here. And then Bakerfield's over here. So, I mean, it's pretty close to like a major populated city. But it was up in this mountain range here.
Well, that looks like a good spot.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty
So,
of
yeah,
water.
that's,
plenty of tree coverage.
Yes, and Western Bigfoot Exploration popped in. Welcome.
Hey,
And,
Jonathan.
And again, we did use part of that Nate clip. I did trim out some of your sections, but we appreciate if, we don't get a copyright strike on that. We just want to show, Nate's video. We did put your channel in reference, and we'll do that again, too. If anybody wants to catch the whole video on this, goes to Western Bigfoot Exploration.
We have a blank screen up here, Steve.
We sure do.
Where are we at?
Surprise!
There we are. Okay.
I turned the I stopped sharing, but yeah, that's where where it took place at.
Thank you, Western Bigfoot.
Western Bigfoot said, yeah, that train was messed up too. Can't imagine trying to walk over there to the subject at night, even with a headlamp. It's gnarly. 0% chance to get closer in this situation.
Oh yeah, there's no way you could run after it during the encounter because you'd twist an ankle in the dark. It's so.
Excuse me. I wouldn't either.
A lot of fallen stuff in there. You can see that very clearly from the satellite view. There's a lot of. Well, anyway, you know what time it is, guys?
Trivia night time.
Already? Dang.
Yeah. It's 2 hours flew by.
That was quick. Yeah. Once again, I want to thank Tate for joining us. Mr. Tate Hieronymus, always a great guest. We appreciate having you. And I want to thank everybody over in the chat. All our listeners and subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please, smash that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. Ring the bell, get the notifications, and somehow that helps us with the algorithm. That's what they say. But Steve and I always say this And we've talked about this many times. We know we have the best audience in the world, and we thank you so much for joining us. This is only possible because of you, and we know it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
And I want to thank our guest, Tate Hieronymus, on tonight, now from the great state of Florida, which is kind of nice of to deal with any snow or any of that crap.
I'd rather take the snow versus the mosquitoes. I went
that's
camping,
true.
and my feet look like they have chicken pox.
Well, you know, you can actually raise mosquitoes there and leash them. They have a leash law for mosquitoes in Florida.
Yeah, it's, I'm good.
Anyway, we appreciate it coming on, my friend. Good God, you know, what a trooper. And everybody go visit Tate over at his channel. And please visit Western Bigfoot Exploration as well. And we got to say, we do have the greatest audience in the world. We love you guys. You are the best. And we will be coming back at you this Wednesday night, for sure this time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here, we'll be back on Hump Day, and our Thanksgiving Day special. What do we got to be thankful for? Turkey. Anyway. So, folks, everybody, God bless. Be safe. Of course, keep healthy. And most of all, keep on Squatch. I love you guys. We'll see you all here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Squatch-D TV all day long.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.